It's your boy Online Davo, and we back with another video. Look, we got a video about Exo Speaks, the white guilt narrative. Hey, and shout out Exo Speaks, that boy going crazy. Let's get into this video and let's see if we learn something new. Come on.
I'm just over this white guilt, white shame type stuff.
Okay.
I'm not advocating for white supremacy. I'm just advocating the end of white silence and the end of white guilt and the end of white shame, because our culture participated in nothing that your culture hadn't participated in previously. We didn't start slavery, but we damn sure ended it.
Huh?
We didn't start slavery, but we damn sure ended it.
What?
I'm not saying that we're better than you, but we're damn sure not worse. We are the only group that you're demanding shut up. And because we're not doing it anymore.
It's not just about the slavery though. That's my whole thing. It's about everything else after. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. These people feel like once slavery ended, racism just gone. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, not more shit was put in place to stop the progress. That's my whole thing. Slavery over. Okay, boom, okay. Y'all didn't just leave us alone. Y'all kept on doing shit to stop what we was doing. But come on, let's listen.
You're just going to scream racist louder and louder and louder, and we are done caring. We are not ashamed of who we are.
I will never apologize for being white, and so sick of being told to. Absolutely no apologies and zero guilt. As a woman of color, say it again. I get so sick and tired of the constant victim mentality. The fact that so many people agree with this is disturbing. So if you haven't heard about it already, there's a new narrative floating around called No More White Guilt. And yes, I'm serious. From big names like Elon Musk supporting it to just everyday normal people, it's starting to gain a lot of traction. I mean, like I showed
No more white guilt. Okay, let's see. What is white guilt? Come on.
you before, just this TikTok alone has gotten a lot of engagement. That's not always an indicator of how people feel in real life, but it does mean something. So the meaning of the no more white guilt phrase is white people pretty much saying that they shouldn't feel personally guilty for slavery or racism that happened in the past. They're pretty much saying that they never owned any slaves and they never participated in the racist behavior that their ancestors engaged in. So they feel like they really have nothing to do with it.
White people need to stop falling for the propaganda of white guilt. Enough already. We were not around 200 years ago. I wasn't, my grandparents weren't, my great-grandparents weren't. Just stop. The world
Probably benefited from it though. Not just slavery though. I'm talking about everything else. You know what I'm saying? Less people of color being considered for certain jobs and careers that set your family up. Not talking about you in particular, but you know what I'm saying? Anyone, go for anyone. Because it did happen. Opportunity's not even there for us to even build a foundation. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on.
was a brutal and barbaric place all over the place.
White guilt is dead, and people are not happy about it. No one should feel guilty for the color of their skin, but yet me saying those 4 words, white guilt is dead, probably pissed a ton of you off. But stay mad.
I don't owe an apology to one motherfucking person. I cannot stand that white people are being told to apologize.
Who has told them to apologize though? I never told them niggas to apologize. You don't gotta apologize to me. But you also don't have to participate in the system that's currently in place that goes against me. That's all I'm saying. You don't gotta, hey, I'm sorry if my people, there's a probability my people were slave. You don't gotta do all that, bruh. You don't gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? But just check racist niggas when you see them. You know what I'm saying? And don't be blinded and be told and don't be prejudiced against people. You know? That's all I ask of you, to be honest. That shouldn't be a lot though.
Even though they've never done one racist thing in their fucking life, have people gone fucking mad? Apologize for what?
I don't feel any white guilt. I don't feel any guilt, hereditary guilt. I feel guilt for things I've done in my own life that have been wrong. I feel guilt sometimes for my actions towards other people, which are not as generous as they could have been. I feel guilt about my own life. I feel no hereditary guilt, and nobody else should either.
None of you alive today ever owned a slave. Not one of you have ever owned a plantation. None of you have a cotton field. Nothing. I don't ever want you to feel guilty because you're white. Because that's stupid. I don't feel guilty for being Hispanic. Why should you feel guilty for being white?
Nobody's asking you to cry. Nobody's
Right?
asking you to hate yourself. And nobody's asking for a
what
personal
I'm saying.
apology. This is about accountability.
That's
And
all.
honestly, I don't even know where y'all are getting that from because nobody has ever said that. What black people want is fairness,
Right.
equality,
Yep.
and recognition.
That's all.
That's it. Nobody's asking for anything extra. We want acknowledgement that our history didn't just end. We
Right.
want to be able to have honest conversations about how systems still affect outcomes.
Come
We
on,
want
brother.
equal treatment without having to prove our humanity first.
That's what
And
I'm
we
saying.
want the
Niggas
ability.
want, that's right. When you black, bro, most dealing with some of these people, you gotta prove that you human. Like, hey, yo, like, what you on? And the thing is, like I just said, bro, it's not about feeling guilty and all that. It's about, yo, respect the history. That's all it is. Respect it. Respect the history of this country. You know what I'm saying? Because you benefiting from this country, and it was built off of the backs of black people, physically, with our blood, all that. Yeah, there was other races, ethnicities, but it was off of black people. And then after slavery ended, there was other things put in place. We know that. You know the history. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean cry about it, but respect it.
To talk about our reality without being dismissed as emotional, angry, or manipulative. It's really just truth without defensiveness. We have history to prove everything. But honestly, that's part of the problem. A lot of y'all are willfully ignorant, and you're not even equipped to have this type of conversation because you don't know anything about black history. We're forced to learn about y'all history, but
Right.
when it comes to ours, y'all don't care.
Hey,
I hear a lot of people.
forced to learn about theirs, forced to hear the lies they put in theirs, forced to hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Man, but don't got an issue with that, though. That's crazy.
People complain that we don't talk about black history enough. Well, yeah, maybe it's because y'all are busy stealing everyone else's history.
Okay, everybody,
What?
a lot of people are going to be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
This guy.
People are going to be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way
Just a hating ass nigga, bro. He was just hating on black people. He never coming back, and that's that.
to work. Have a good day.
Now, Black History Month's rather come to an end because there isn't very much Black History to have a month about. So the month gets shorter every year by a couple of days.
What does that mean to you, Black History Month? It means that that's racism because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month.
Caught on video.
Oh my God, do they even hear themselves? Like, do they even hear what they're even saying half the dumb niggas? Do they even hear what they're saying half the time? Talking about something we don't got right History Month. He just trying to be a smart ass. Oh my God, what a nerd.
Noose controversy. You can clearly see this white firefighter tying a rope into a noose
Come on, man.
and handing it to a black firefighter.
Oh, they used it on that nigga. Keep playing with me. Fuck you talking about? See me out back. You gonna see who it end up on.
And at first, it was a thing where you could just throw the blame onto the educational system. But now with social media being so widely accessible and you having the ability to learn about this information, it's no excuse for it. And for a lot of people, instead of actually learning about our history, it's easier to just point fingers, even when you don't know what you're talking about at all.
We didn't start slavery, but we damn sure ended it.
That's like saying, yeah, I kidnapped her, but I let her go, so at least give me credit for that. You shouldn't have kidnapped her in the first place.
Yeah, you always hear like people saying, other places had slavery, da. But the thing is, America was doing it off of like your race, off of you just, you're darker, so you're a slave. Like other places, they had like, they had like denture servants and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, just based off your race, that's crazy.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. White people did not end slavery. Stop saying that, because that totally discredits all of the hard work that my ancestors have put in to get us to the place that we're at now. Slavery ended because enslaved people forced it to end. There were constant rebellions, escapes, sabotage, and resistance that made slavery hard to maintain. There were abolitionists like Olaudah Equiano, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, abolitionists that fought against slavery through writing, legal challenges, organizing, and acting.
And they don't tell you it had economic advantages for reasons on stopping slavery. They don't tell you that though. You know what I'm saying? They make it seem like it was a moral good and all that, but it has some other shit in it. This whole country, man, they don't do anything out the kindness of their heart, bro. I tell you that much. This country never have and it never will. Okay? anything you want to have in this country, you have to fight for it, bruh. It's not gonna be given to you. Straight up.
The British abolition movement did help, but don't make it seem like white people ended slavery, because that's not the truth. I know y'all like to whitewash everything and make y'all the heroes in every story, but that's not the case. Y'all acting like slavery ended because y'all just had a change.
Damn, they try to do this too. They would have deported the nigga on the right. They would have kidnapped that nigga.
Heroes in every story, but that's not the case. Y'all acting like slavery ended because y'all just had a change of heart one day. No, my ancestors put in work to make that happen. This wasn't out of generosity. Y'all didn't just wake up one morning, oh, you know what, we're just gonna let him free. That's not how that happened.
Our culture participated in nothing that your culture hadn't participated in previously.
This gotta be the most ignorant video of all time. I can't believe y'all are letting this man get away with these lies.
Bro,
this argument—
and they got grays in his beard. He got gray in his beard talking like that. That's crazy.
About slavery is extremely weak, and I'm very surprised that I don't see it being dismantled way more often. Did Africans willingly participate in the slave trade? Yes. Was that wrong for them to do? Yes. But what y'all need to understand is there is a big difference between African slavery and chattel slavery. I want to make a whole separate video about this, so I'll touch on this very briefly. African slavery usually enslaved war captives, people who couldn't repay their debts, social outsiders like foreigners, and economic labor needs. But it was a small scale operation. It wasn't plantation based. The difference with African slavery is many people could marry into the community. They could gain freedom. They could
I think they were also able to like pay back. They could do it to pay back their debts and shit. So it's like, bad. Get out my face talking about something. Oh, they had slaves too. Shut up.
Rise in status, and they could have children who were free. And it wasn't based on race, it wasn't based on skin color, and it wasn't based on ideas of biological inferiority. Those ideas were introduced by Europeans to justify chattel slavery. When Africans sold us into slavery, they did not know that it would mean a total loss of humanity for us. They did not know that we would legally be considered non-human property. It doesn't make it right, but they did not know that. They didn't know that it was a lifelong bondage with no path to freedom.
That's crazy as fuck, bruh. That's crazy. That's so crazy what the hell they was doing. I'm telling you, man. These people be evil, bro. These people be evil. How can you do that? How can you do that to another human? You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's... Oh, man. Oh, man. It get real out here, bruh. It get real out here.
Know that our children and our grandchildren were going to be born into slavery, nor did they agree to that. They did not know that it was going to be industrial scale torture and labor. And they did not know that it was a racial system that was built around it. Europeans built a structure where Africans were permanently inferior and whiteness was basically a justification for superiority. That's not...
And they let them get away with everything. That's like, I don't be... All these little stats they try to have about slavery and shit, only 1% of it. Shut up, man. You know the truth, all right? You know what's up. I know what's up, and it's like crazy because there's so much history that people could read and look into if they really gave a fuck. To be honest, if they gave a fuck, they would look into it. But I also think like, damn, what about all this shit that we don't know? Like, think about all the shit we do know, all the shit we don't know that went down. You know what I'm saying? All the operations that never got caught. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
How Africans understood identity or slavery. And not to mention, a lot of them were lied to about what was really going on in America. I feel like this conversation is only focused on slavery because if we have conversations about what happened after slavery, there's nothing that y'all can say. And there's nothing
and this why I fuck with you. Exo speaks, that's why I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So far. You look like a real nigga so far, that's all I'm saying. But they don't talk about this. They don't talk about everything that happened after. You feel me?
That y'all can say now, to be honest. But even if we totally disregarded slavery, what about black codes? What about the KKK? What about Jim Crow, redlining, the war on drugs, mass incarceration, 3 strikes law, Tuskegee syphilis, Mississippi appendectomy?
Man,
what about forced sterilization programs, the Tulsa race massacre? All of these things were created.
These people, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Man, oh man, and they see a little progress and their whole world just come crashing down. They neighbor could be black and they'll still be on the internet talking about some, they don't deserve what I got. But shit, let's keep in mind now, not every racist is in the shits and sticks in the middle of fucking nowhere. We got some racists that's in high ranking positions, president. We got some that's CEO of companies, all that. So just how they could sound like a goddamn, they could sound like a, how you doing, sir? How's your day? Hey, I'm telling you, bruh. I'm telling you, this country is crazy, man. Love yourself always, because these people hate you for no reason. So.
To oppress black people. And that's only scratching the surface. There are so many others. But see, they would never talk about that because it don't fit their narrative. Nobody's asking for y'all to feel personally guilty. But what we do want is for y'all to take accountability and acknowledge all of the wrongdoing that has happened to black people throughout history. And that is still happening to this day. But y'all don't want to talk about that because like I said, it don't fit the narrative, right? It's so bad.
Because they benefit from the system also. They benefit from black people, minorities being, you know, not being picked because of racial reasons. They benefit from that. It makes their pathway to a job easier. You know what I'm saying? We see how mediocre some of these politicians and shit be at their job. They don't have no qualifications. A nigga will look in your face. Okay, I'll play like this. Okay, regardless of whether you feel like Harris should have won or not, whatever like that, right? But a nigga will look in your face and say, Kamala Harris wasn't qualified enough. You could say you don't like her policy, but to say she wasn't qualified enough compared to Donald Trump, that tells me everything I need to know about you. Because what are your qualifications for presidency, my nigga? Please let me know so we could go find that person. That might be a nigga I could pull off the street. It's crazy. Man, I had to get that out the way. That was a little tangent.
To the point where y'all won't even acknowledge that there was any wrongdoing and won't even take the time to learn about our history to understand what is going on. But what y'all will do is try to go on social media and around to your friends and other people and spread a false narrative about us. Y'all do that like your life depend on it.
Okay, black women, listen up. Listen up. A black woman is speaking.
Let's say you had like 100 rats in like I don't know, in a cage, and 13 of those rats were causing 60% of the issues in that cage. What should we do with those 13 rats?
I heard somebody say something the other day. They said there's two types of white people. It's white people, and then there are people that just so happen to be white. White people are the ones that support racism. They don't know about our history. They do things like vote against us, things like that. But then there's people that just so happen to be white that don't agree with any of that, that understand why we're in the position that we're in. They know about our history, and they try to do whatever they can to spread knowledge and debunk misinformation. They didn't say it exactly like that. I kind of changed it up a little.
Hey, you put some sauce on it though.
Bit, but I definitely agree with that statement. But I want to make this very clear. We're never going to forget about slavery. We're never going to forget about anything that happened after slavery, and we're never going to stop talking about it. Now,
nah, for real though, I ain't never going to stop talking about it. I ain't never going to stop being black. I'm never going to stop being black, bruh. Alright? So it's like, hey man, if you want niggas to stop mentioning it, how about you participate in the movement and help us change some things? Alright? Cause my thing is this. If we telling you we got a problem, you know what I'm saying, and we got stuff we need to fix, and there's things we could do ourselves, but there's also other things like policies and shit like that that need to get put in place to help niggas out. You know what I'm saying? If you're not helping with that, then shut up. All right? Because you know the history. You know it went down. Okay? So don't play in my face and don't play your own face. Okay? I'm gone. Peace.